In this video, traders, we're going to look at stocks that may well benefit from our new way of working. Stick around. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me. All right, so we're kind of going a bit of a revolution in the way we work, right? Post-coronavirus, and also with a new kind of generation of workforce coming through that have different expectations. In a way, that's where the WeWork kind of vision came from. We all know what happened to that, and it's kind of had to really be reined back. But ultimately, the vision was to have a place that really attracts the best people and gets them to stay. And this kind of virus has shown us that a lot of the younger workforce, millennials, maybe even younger, quite like the flexibility. They have the ability to work from home. A lot of these kind of workers quite like ditching the whole idea of having to sit down from 9 to 5 in the same place at the same time. And actually business owners themselves have gone, you know what, this is actually workable. And we've done videos where we talked about this before. And I think this is important to consider, guys, because, it's big shifts in trends, big trends that really make a lot of difference to asset prices. And if we change the way we live and the way we do stuff, to change the way we work, that really has a huge effect on various companies. And so just thinking ahead of perhaps a different way of working and how that would look, and the way of living and how that living wraps around that way of working, and thinking, all right, so who's really going to benefit from this? What are these companies, these people are using already? And what new companies could we see, and how, if you're an investor, you could potentially, again, no recommendations, guys, as always, but just ideas, how you could potentially position for this big shift that we're getting in ways of working. So the first one that you can think about is like FEDEX, Royal Mail, and UPS. People working a lot more from home and not going out to stores so much. Then the delivery companies are only going to benefit, right? We'll forget about the fulfillment companies in a moment, but FedEx, your Royal Mail if you're in the UK, and UPS. Now, I appreciate there's plenty of other parcel providers out there, but if we're going to see an even bigger boom in e-commerce, an even bigger boom in food deliveries, perhaps teaming up with these, I know Amazon's starting to do it now, we might find that these companies really start to fine-tune their operations. They find new ways of getting deliveries out there rather than vans. A lot of them are looking at kind of drone deliveries and teaming up with cab drivers. So this could be a big growth area, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense getting goods brought to you rather than you going to get the goods. And lots of people working nowadays, younger people than me, expect stuff to come to them. That's how they're brought up. That's what they expect, and I can only see that improving. And listen, guys, I'm not an old man, obviously, but even I appreciate having stuff brought to me. But this is more of an expectation now from a new demographic of worker coming in. So they've got Amazon and eBay obviously going to benefit from the marketplace. They've got Amazon obviously got some of their own goods. eBay is just a pure marketplace. These could be just grow and improve. And then maybe you've got PayPal on there as well for the payment processes like PayPal and Square. I think those, they're slightly different, but again, PayPal, Square, maybe even Shopify benefiting from the e-commerce boom, but maybe not directly linked to this. Then we've got kind of just consumption of entertainment, things like Twitter, things like Pinterest, things like TikTok. Maybe Facebook and Snapchat could have been on there, but I just picked a few that I thought might be interesting based on where they are now. TikTok obviously not IPO'd yet, but it's coming through. Possible that's a slightly younger generation, but it's there. Then we've got the entertainment as well, so Netflix, ROKU, Disney slightly, I think obviously because Disney Plus, that could benefit from them, but if we're thinking of a specific demographic, like a millennial and younger, and where they're working, probably not going to be Disney consumers, but there will be Netflix and there will be ROKU. And then we've got getting around. I've noticed a lot of people who are working, in the cities now don't have a car. Number one, because when apartment blocks are being built, they tend to not have a parking space with them anymore. And number two, they kind of go, well, do I really need it? They've got these car share clubs if you really need to get a car. But getting around, things like Uber and LYFT, Uber's super cheap, LYFT super cheap, not available in the UK yet, but these kind of things may well benefit from just a shift in the way that people use it. The more people just use Uber to get from A to B, obviously the more benefit and the more revenue they're going to make. Then we've got Spotify, probably should have been here with kind of entertainment. And then the fitness. So Again, moving away from going out to gyms, maybe Peloton, things like Peloton are going to do well. We're going to see more companies springing up and more kind of offshoots of these bigger companies that are going and saying, hey, we can do an online coaching type thing or an online program. You've got the hardware and the software. We all know about Peloton. And then we've got, the working Slack and Zoom and things like that. We've done more details about that before. And finally, food. So Amazon's going to benefit from food because they're going into food. Maybe the supermarkets, if they, are clever and start to, divert a lot more. So things like Ocado, the online delivery service, maybe things like Tesco's and Sainsbury's, maybe some of the US supermarkets as well. But, very specifically, things like DOMINOS, they are a pizza place, very, very high margin delivery. Things like GRUB, again, that kind of thing. And then in the UK, we've got Just Eat. And then Deliveroo potentially could be IPO'd as well. So, these are just ideas, guys, and always welcome to hear your ideas. But just thinking of the new workforce, the kind of millennial, I don't label it as a millennial, but it's a lot of people. But if you think of the way that people want to work now, coronavirus has allowed or forced businesses almost to change the way that they allow people to work. So if we've got this hybrid working of sometime in the office, sometime at home, sometimes in Starbucks, sometimes in the library, sometimes in a co-working space, these things may well see quite a significant boost. Now, who knows? At the end of the day, guys, you've got to look at the chart, you've got to look at the valuation, you've got to do all your own due diligence. But sometimes just thinking about if these bigger trends are going to be substantial, where we're going with the bigger trend. I don't think there's any doubt, guys, that we're changing the way we work. I think most people will agree that's the case, but it's just then identifying who's going to benefit the most, who's already overvalued, who's this, who's that, and then kind of doing your due diligence from there. So let me know your comments, guys, in the comment section below. If you've got any you want to add to this list, I'm sure there's plenty, and a reason why would be good, and maybe we can kind of look at some more and add some more, maybe do a future video and update on potentially where we are going or which stocks are going to benefit from our new way of working. Stay tuned for the next video, guys, coming up. Make sure you're subscribed as well, notifications on, all that kind of good stuff. Appreciate your support. Take care. Bye-bye.